Idology is completely excited to welcome Erica Van Pelt today. We're not so excited to be welcoming you in March.
Feels a little early.
It's funny, I know at one point you had a moment on a results night when you and Elise, what did you say to her? When you didn't think your mic was on?
I didn't remember my mic was on, and I made a joke and I just said something like, haha, look at us old ladies. It's the old ladies.
You're not an old lady, but in the music business, it's tough. It's like if you're not signed by the time you're 21, well, she's getting a little old.
Yeah, you're behind the 8 ball.
What's your state of mind as you approach season 11 of Idol and you decide to audition? Is that in the back of your brain?
It wasn't totally freaking me out. Actually, when we got to top 25, a good amount of us were in our mid to late 20s.
Right.
It was when they cut it down to, top 13, and then all of a sudden, Elise, Jermaine, and I are really the older ones, Right. I don't feel old.
If you're feeling old, my God, I should have a glass of Metamucil and a crutch or something. Semifinals, you do What About Love? What about love? Don't you want someone to care about you? How did you come up with that song? There's something about you that sort of makes me feel like you're more of a child of 80s music.
I love 80s, and I love 80s rock, specifically. Ann and Nancy Wilson are just, such powerhouse, rock voices. I just wanted to do something that showed that part of me. I'm not a rock singer. This is the weird thing, and I feel like my whole American Idol journey sort of steered me in that direction. I'm a soul R&B singer with some rock thrown in there, you know what I mean? But I did want to show that side because I felt like that may have set me apart from some of the other contestants.
Already, first live performance of the season, we got you're holding back something on us.
I feel like you could have gone a little tiny bit, push it. Come on, Erica.
I know.
Was that a weird thing to hear, that you're somehow not going to do your best or give your all? I mean, I think that there's a difference between restraint and not wanting to do 18 vocal tricks in a 90-second performance.
And this was actually at the stage of the show where Jimmy Iovine hadn't really, intervened too much and was talking about all the over-singing that people were doing. I mean, again, I'm 26 years old. I've been around the block. I don't feel like I need to do vocal acrobats all the time to give a solid performance, So every time I got that critique, in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to oversing? Because I'm not going to do it.
Sorry to say you have not made the top 10.
So wild card night, you don't make it through into the top 10. You've got Edge of Glory in your back pocket. I thought that was the most definitive performance of wild card night. It was like, I dare you to not put me through. And there have been instances in past wild card seasons where someone was the best on the night and didn't make it on through.
I felt really good about it, of course. I gave it 150%. But there's always that chance that for whatever reason, they could not send you through. So I was just hoping.
I've got to ask you about the dress from that night. It was a little bridesmaidy, and I've just got to ask, was it something that you were in a wedding and someone was like, you could totally wear that again in the future?
No, and this is the craziest thing. I had a lot of snags with wardrobe. I'll be totally candid about that. I'm a full-figured girl. I have no qualms about saying this at all. I'm a size 12. I'm not a sample size, and for some reason, it's a little bit more difficult to dress, like fuller figured women, you know what I mean? We had actually tried a few things on in wardrobe that just weren't working at all. And that was actually my dress that I had. It's just a dress that I happen to have in my bag. Let's throw this on because it looks way better than any of the other options. And we went, we sort of went with it.
We got to follow up with Whitney Houston week, I Believe in You and Me. I was surprised that nobody picked some of the later Whitney Houston songs like Heartbreak Hotel or It's Not Right But It's Okay. Were those on the table for that week?
We got a list, to choose from primarily. I'm sure we could have, fought for some other ones if we wanted to, really. But for the most part, it was a predetermined list, and we just sort of went, yeah, okay, we'll do that one.
How did you feel about that particular week?
It was weird for me. I mean, honestly, I felt like, of course, like with girls like Jessica Sanchez and Holly Kavanaugh in the competition that are balladeers, that week was right up their alley. I feel like, and for singers like Elise and I, it was much more of a stretch. I think we did the best, we could have done. If it's not your style, it's a little hard to maneuver sometimes.
I had wished that they would give the guys Whitney Houston and the girls Stevie Wonder.
Me too.
That week, okay.
Me too, Mike. I would have loved to do some Stevie. I really would have. When I qualified for my dream ticket at Hollywood Studios American Idol experience, I sang I Wish. That was my song.
Really?
Yeah. It's upbeat, it's like funky. Certainly would have shown a different side of me. And again, another sort of wardrobe snag that week. I got put in this
Pageanty.
a little
pageanty.
And it's not my vibe, as you can tell. I'm sort
Right.
of not, and I couldn't breathe.
Really?
Oh yeah, I was totally restrained in that thing. I was having severe issues. I'm saying, can I even get out there and like squeak these notes out?
No wonder it's tough for women on Idol. Between the heels, which are often like brink of death.
Obscene.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally obscene. Totally obscene. And then the guys go out there, they're allowed to wear, their chucks on stage, and like whatever. I'm like, why can't I do that?
Tour is coming up. I think you should do a duet of I Wish with Joshua.
I would love to do
Make it
that.
happen.
That's a great idea. Joshua and I have actually already been talking about what we want to do as a duet, because he and I have been talking about that for a while.
So the following week you do Heaven. You're
Yep.
sort of back towards a more of an 80s rock pop vibe.
Jimmy had this really great idea to do this super cool break.
Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms.
Didn't we have like a 5-minute package telling us that we were building up to this?
Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I was not the only one who was shocked, obviously.
Someone just got carried away.
You know what? There's some certain things that happen in the interim between, obviously deciding the song, sitting in that mentoring session with Jimmy, and then all the dress rehearsals, that follow. They make little tweaks in the band that they're supposed to go over with you in rehearsal. Sometimes it just gets overlooked because there's so much going on,
Right.
And then, boom, we go live in front of 15 million people, and it's just like, oops.
There's a trap on American Idol, and it's called over-singing, and Erica fell into it last night.
Did you feel that had happened?
This is another thing that never got brought up on the show. Never made air. I have a vocal nodule.
They should have brought a medic out on stage with you. Some people get the medic.
Can she make it the entire hour, in your opinion?
I didn't want the sob story. I didn't want, people to feel bad for me. I don't make excuses when I go out on stage. But I do have a nodule, and it's one of those things that, I don't want it to get to the point where it's so bad because I'm trying to scream sing that, I now have to get surgery on it. It's at a maintainable level right now, and over-singing it's the worst thing to do for it. I didn't think I was over-singing Bryan Adams at all.
Probably your best performance was New York State of Mind.
I'm taking a Greyhound on the Hudson River line.
I just said, you know what, Erica, forget honestly what everyone's been telling you. Like, you've been doing this your whole life. You need to go out there, and if you're gonna go out, you have to do it and be proud of what you did and not look back at it and say, oh, I did that because someone told me to, and now I'm going home.
I live the more behind.
I'm big for dynamics too. I feel like that's another thing that maybe sometimes gets overlooked on this show. The judges, were like, you could have given me more, and I'm saying, I didn't want to, though.
I'm looking at Erica's hair, and I'm thinking, this hair is taking away from your look.
I know Tommy Hilfiger was suggesting a shorter cut, but the dark hair, which Idology has been advocating.
It wasn't a strategic move for me at all. It was honestly, I've done this to my hair my whole life, doing crazy things with it. I've gone all kinds of crazy colors, perms, extensions, you name it, right? Because of consistency with the show, since my road audition in Pittsburgh, they didn't allow me to do anything with it and, nothing crazy. So when they gave me the green light and Tommy came on as an image consultant and, sort of suggested not only that I go short, but now I'm thinking in my head, well, let's just take it one step farther. If I'm going to do something drastic, let's go all the way.
You also brought out maracas final evening on the show.
Yep.
Was that something that you and Elise had planned? Obviously, you'd planned. At what point had you planned? It was like day of, like, we can have a good time if we get in the bottom 3?
Pretty much, it was like the night before, dress rehearsals, and we were saying, we've been having solid performances, and we just don't understand why the voters aren't getting behind us. So it's a good chance we're going to end up back there, and heck, we're going to have a good time. If that has to be the case, just like bring the party with us. Let's go.
June, you are safe.
We all really do love each other. So we are genuinely happy when other people make it through. Of course, I was totally bummed. I'll even go as far as to say I was devastated after Thursday night's elimination for a good couple hours, after we wrapped. I was just like sobbing relentlessly, total mess. But I'm still happy, for the other kids. It's what it is.